are live. Can you hear me out there in Radio Land? I'm, of course, your host, Mike G. And we are here once again at MOTN Live, where it is indeed a cruel angel thesis. If you know what that means, you're in the cool guy zone. If you don't know what that means, you're going to learn right now. With me, as always, is my right hand appendage, like six-armed Spider-Man. Every other arm is a member of the MOTN. So for the right under rib is Tootie Odin. What's going on, Toots?
Wow, too soon, buddy. Too soon.
What? Oh, yeah. Her equilibrium got destabilized. We'll talk about that as the night goes on. She don't laugh because she broke her rib. She cracked her rib, and now her equilibrium is currently destabilized. So that's what.
My equilibrium destabilized.
Destabilized. Okay, with that on my other
All right,
side, my other second arm is Brian Wash, the man. He's wearing purple. I don't know why. What's going on, Brian?
It's Friday, bro. Like, why not purple? California raisin, whatever.
I love the California raisins.
Makes sense to
Good
me.
cartoon, right?
Absurdly racist, but in a good way.
Well, I wasn't going there, but yeah, purple. It's Friday. How you doing?
It's Friday, dog. Welcome to live, dog.
Salute. Yeah, I guess. I suppose.
So, Tooch, you already know the drill. I ran it through Brian Washington, Wash himself. On live, there's no holds barred. We're in the Thunderdome right now. We're talking about anything and everything, stream of consciousness for 1 hour straight. Starting with Tootie. How you doing? I know we've already kind of mentioned you're a little under the weather, but I really thank you for coming through and hanging out tonight.
I'm doing okay. It's been a weird week. I'm not immobile, but I am. Like I don't like this. For the last 24 hours, I've been doing literally nothing but laying down and knocking out and having weird dreams and waking up. And I'm kind of over it. Like the fact that I got up to put on face is enough for me today. And you guys are gonna do a lot of talking. I'm just gonna do a lot of sitting here and laughing. Like I said, I'm gonna be the Robin Quivers of this cast today. So.
You're better than Robin. I said that before, and I'll say that again. You're more like a Baba Booey, if you know, like Baba Booey. Who is Howard's second-hand person? It's not Robin. Is it Robin? Like it's like his Robin technically.
It's Robin on air. It's Baba Booey off air. Baba Booey is his producer. Robin's just his cackling goon. So that's what I'm going to be today. His cackling goon.
All right, give me your best cackle. Go.
Oh, come on.
You got to be like.
That works. I don't know. I can't do a good Robin.
I've known this woman for like 15 years, 20 years. I've never heard her make that noise ever. That was amazing. Amazing. Brian, you're wearing purple. Why are you wearing purple, bro? I need to know.
It was a shirt and it's hot. And it didn't have any stains on it currently. So, considering I'm going to be on camera, I figured, hey, let's not look like a slob today.
That's the story of my life, dude.
So yeah, that's it, man. Everything else is kind of air drying at the moment. We had laundry day today, so yeah.
Isn't it the worst where
no other reasons?
Isn't it the worst where your jeans are always the last thing to dry?
Oh man, it's the worst. It's the worst.
My jeans.
People who wash their shoes. Do either of you wash your shoes in the washing machine? I don't.
It depends on the shoe. Yeah. Like
it depends on the shoe. I buy $5 shoes. No, not expensive shoes, cheap shoes.
But you just air dry them?
Uh-huh.
Do you put them in the dryer?
You could, but then they wear out easier. So I just air dry the hell out of them, and I don't wear them for like 2 days until they're super dry. Yeah.
I've never given this a try, and I heard about it recently, and I don't know. My brain just was like, oh, I didn't know that was an option.
Yeah,
I wouldn't do it with expensive shoes for
Right.
sure.
Well, I don't have
Yeah.
any of those, so we don't have to worry about any of that.
nah, you
Same
just
here. I get $5 Five Below shoes because they're fashionable and you can always keep buying them for $5. Can't beat it. So that's the secret to my shoe life. Yeah. Shout
Comfortable
out
walking
Five
shoes.
Below.
Don't ask.
That's
sponsor
it.
Five Below.
That's it.
Talk to me. They have the best
It's the gift
incense.
give, it's the gift giving season. If you've noticed, there are holiday buying shopping commercials everywhere. So yeah,
Yeah,
Five
man.
Below.
Already.
Already. What do you want for Christmas, Brian?
Ooh, I have
What do you
not
want?
thought about any of
What do you
that.
want
In
for
fact,
Christmas,
the
though?
only thing
I
I
got
really
to get you something.
no, man, I was thinking about stuffing and macaroni and cheese yesterday. That had it on the brain, and so you know, I'm,
I
I'm
can't
not
mail
there yet.
that. All right, I feel you.
You
It's
don't have to. I'll make it. Stovetop has it,
stovetop godlike.
dude.
Isn't it
Godlike.
weird that you're more excited for the food than any kind of tangible, lifelong keepsake? It's like the food is what gets you hyped for the holidays.
I
You know,
mean, yeah. I
like
mean,
Halloween, like get a nice cider, watch a scary movie. You know what I mean?
it is scary
I literally
movie.
go to IKEA. Have you like you go to IKEA to edge yourself for Thanksgiving dinner? That's why I go. I fucking love Thanksgiving dinner, and you only eat it once a year. But IKEA has like the next best thing if you want to edge for
Like,
Thanksgiving dinner.
man, but then it's like you only have Thanksgiving dinner once, and then the subsequent 8 times for for leftovers, and then you can't stand it, and you're cool for like a whole 11 months. You know what I mean?
It's
I
part of the
mean,
tradition.
I
Yeah.
make a Thanksgiving dinner maybe 2 or 3 times a year. I mean, you just get yourself a little turkey breast, some stuffing, maybe some mac and cheese, do your green bean thing. But you get around April, March or April, it's like, yeah, man, I could use a little Thanksgiving dinner. So
It's like that meme. It's always Halloween in my soul.
no,
you know,
seriously.
you know, you can have Christmas every day. We'll have
Mhm.
Halloween on Christmas, and wish tonight that this will never end. You know,
Aw, it's a good
you
song.
already know that's a good song, man. So we're celebrating 85 years of Batman, hence the hat. I want your Batman memory. Let's start with Wash himself. Give me a random Batman memory.
Random Batman memory. Honestly, when you say Batman memory, I just see Bane like just crushing his midsection when he's up against that pillar, man. I mean, it is an underrated movie, but that is what comes to mind every time. And I know that it's not even the best movie of the three, but that scene, dude, that scene wrecks. And you're like,
What will
man,
break first, your mind or your body?
it's very akin to when Thanos bodied Hulk, and you're just sitting there and you're like,
Oh,
oh. And
this is
so
what we're
Bane,
doing.
yeah, dude. It's just like, oh, all right. I wasn't really expecting. Batman is the hero, right? Yeah, we'll
He'll
see.
figure it out. He's having a
See,
rough.
that's where I
His
go to.
equilibrium was destabilized that
Yeah,
day.
dude, Bane is the hero.
He got turbo jacked up. Toots, give me a random Batman memory.
Probably my very first Batman memory is watching Batman and then having it get completely cut off by the O.J. Simpson trial.
Wow, that is tight. That is a certain
You
time of
asked.
no. That is a certain exact like moment in time. That would have been like 92,
Yeah.
right? That's probably around
92 or
Batman.
94.
That's like Batman Begin. No, Batman Returns time.
Batman the animated series. Oh, I'm
Ah,
not talking about the movie. I'm talking about the cartoon. Like coming home after school, like you're hyped up to watch your TV, Animaniacs, your Batman series. You're like, I was ready to go, and then I'll never forget like having to come home, and then it just gets cut off right in the middle. And then the end of it was the end of our childhood. It was the end of afternoon
yeah.
cartoons as we saw fit.
I talk about that all the time. O.J. Simpson
Yeah,
trial killed cartoons. Hmm
Big time.
I mean, I didn't consider it, but yeah, it was on all the time. All the time it was
Even
on.
the
There was nothing
weekends.
on. It was
It
on.
was on in the mornings. It killed Saturday mornings. So it's like, I guess I'm watching this, or go outside. You got two choices: go outside or watch the O.J. Simpson trial. And that year, I learned how to play soccer because I just do it.
And even when we went outside, it didn't matter because once you got to school, when they read the verdict, everybody was there to watch the verdict.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
You heard about it.
you're
One way or
only
another.
9, but here, put this on TV. Like, this is history
Yeah,
in the
murder.
making. It was like our first 9/11.
O.J. Simpson is 9/11. I love it. I love it. I love it. You heard it here first. MOTN first. I love it.
I don't want to tell the story, but I'm going to tell the story anyway.
Yes, tell it. Let's go.
I was the only African American in my school for the most part, and I happened to be the only African American in class, and it was read over the loudspeakers. And I remember sitting in class, and O.J. Simpson is not guilty, and literally the entire class turned around and they did.
You see what you did, Brian?
Brian, you did
it. So yeah, that's a memory about that.
Brian was like,
I was like, I don't even know what's happening, but all right, that's cool, man. That's awesome. Anyway.
I think I heard my mother calling.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
That's hilarious.
Like awkward school moments. You know what I mean? Like the awkwardest school moment I think I had is when I had a crush on this girl. You always I'm not gonna dox her, but you always remember the names. And this was like in 5th grade, and all my cousins had little girlfriends for their Valentine's Day, and I got her something, and I guess she didn't reciprocate because she got my candy and gave it out to the whole class. It didn't take a bite. And that was my Valentine's Day, like 1994. You know what I mean? You just kind of you start hearing that slow jams in the back. You start hearing 103.5 in your head. Like, okay, this is how this is gonna go for the next 20 years. It's like the most awkward.
Was that the beginning of your Peter Cetera obsession?
That was the beginning of my villain stage. That was the beginning. That was my super villain origin story. You know what I mean?
Dude, you're a Peter Cetera fan? I didn't know that. Peter Cetera is the man, dude.
He's a huge Peter Cetera fan.
Like,
Brian, you have no idea. I will literally just.
Go ahead.
It makes sense, doesn't it? It's sad.
No, it really doesn't. I'm shocked. I've known you now for like a decade, and I'm like, we don't really talk music. We talk a lot of other stuff, but I'm not the music anyway. Man. Yeah, Peter Cetera, Chicago.
Peter Cetera, Chicago. You know what I'm saying?
I could literally make an argument that Chicago is one of the best band ever. I think that's an argument that could be made. So, I can't. I'm
not going to fight that. Forget the Beatles. 250624. We do it. It's hard to me.
Know what love is. That one always gets me because of you.
I want you to show me. Don't get me started, Doug.
Mm-hmm.
Bruh, I may look like a Black Hagrid, but I got falsettos, bro. Secretly, don't tell nobody.
There you go. All right.
The falsetto is crazy. MOTN first. So we got to have like the next live. We're just gonna get copyright infringed and just play Peter Cetera the whole time.
Oh man,
y'all down?
Oh, I'm down. Yep. That sounds like fun.
I'm gonna break the. You want to break the rules?
You know what I was gonna suggest? You know how we're thinking about ideas for like top 10s?
Yeah.
What about like top 10 hip hop lyrics? Like a certain lyric that stands out in certain songs.
Like a whole lyric, maybe not even just hip hop, but one lyric, like it was all a dream.
Well, who's going to choose that one? But something like that, yeah, in a sense.
I would choose that one. You know, it's like I think the only one I can think of is what it is, yo. But what's up? Can a player just keep in touch?
All right, never mind.
I ruin everything. You see how I ruin everything? You see it in actual action. It's not great.
I get it.
And we're done, sadly.
Just another idea thrown away because of Michael.
It's all good.
Damn it!
It's all good.
Damn it!
It's what you know.
You're stopping growth, my friend. Every brand new idea.
You know, no. I'm the anti-monitor of podcasting. You know, you have a fresh, vibrant idea, and I say something dumb, and it ruins the whole vibe. You know, just how it goes. You know, that's what I do. That's what I'm good at. You know, it's a gift. It's like I'm like Darth Treyas. I'm a Darth.
A gift and a curse.
Don't even get me started. You are a tad bit of a Sith, bro. Like, we've had this discussion, and
I'm not a Sith, dog.
We know that you.
I'm not a Sith.
Sith, bro.
I just got questions. I got a couple questions.
You got a lot of questions. You got a lot of questions.
I got like 4 questions that you guys refuse to answer. I have no conflict. I'm really set in what I'm about. I have zero conflict, though. I don't have. I'm either all light or all dark. Just really, I don't know which, because you bring these things up. You ask these questions, though. But I'm not a big red guy. Red's not a color I really vibe with, so I couldn't be a Sith. It's impossible. I don't like the color.
The black and red? Doesn't black and red work with everything?
I'm from Inglewood. I can't just walk around wearing black and red.
Smart.
I think you can now.
I could now because it's all gentrified.
Kind of
yeah, we got Panera breads and stuff. But
thank you, white people.
We salute you on this 85th Batman anniversary. But no,
shout out the whites.
You mean like your
dirty uglies, dude?
Oh. MOTN Live about my dirty draws. The effing
literally
whites.
The point of the life, baby. I watched The Big Lebowski the other day, so it's been on my mind.
Brian, aren't you a big fan of The Big Lebowski?
Yeah, man, it's been a long time since I had to watch that. But yeah, Lebowski is one of those pieces of film that is uniquely like perfect. You're just kind of like, man, there is nothing that should be likable or redeemable about any of these people. Yet,
they're just people.
I'm enjoying myself.
That's one thing I like about That's one thing I like about The Big Lebowski is every single. I am a okay, Brennan. I see that you said I am a Sith Lord. Okay, but I'm a nice Sith Lord. I bring punch and pie to the rule of 2. I didn't bleed my crystal. I asked it gently to turn blue. I'm a Sith with a blue lightsaber.
Palpatine saved millions of lives during his reign as emperor. Like, he fought many battles for the good. Let's not get it twisted. Like, that does not mean your heart is not Sith.
I will bring peace, serenity to my new order, my new empire, your new empire. What are you talking about? I am not a Sith. I am a Jedi that has questions. Much like my hero.
I was going to say you are the robot chicken Palpatine for sure.
I am the robot chicken Palpatine.
Mm-hmm.
I get upset.
The second you mentioned punch and coffee or whatever you said. Punch and pie?
Punch and pie.
What did you say?
Punch and pie. I want some. And I offer it to others who may want some as well. And listen to, have I ever told you about our Lord and Savior, Darth Sidious? You know? Brian is tight. You know execute order 66.
Like, I'm just saying, you know.
No, no, no. Oh man, I was not sad. I was upset. I was disappointed in Vader. I was not sad, Brennan. I was disappointed that he. It's like it's like, hey man, I need to run to the store. Can I borrow your car? Sure. You get a phone call from the store. Hey man, these crazy kids just start jumping on the hood of your car and it exploded. I need my car, bro. I'm not mad at you. I'm sad, dog. I'm not mad. I'm sad. And now we got to build a brand new car in the span of one movie, and that gets blown up too. And I die. Crazy.
What's scarier, an angry Palpatine or a disappointed Palpatine?
Disappointed because then he starts to conspire against you, and you won't even know until it's too late. This is a better. Brian,
I think angry, he'll just react on impulse.
Yeah, like a disappointed Palpatine, he's gonna start getting the wheels in motion for you, you know. And next thing you know, you're in a rubber suit smelling like burnt bacon.
I would have to say, yeah, conniving, scheming, quiet Palpatine is the one. Like when he gives Yoda that look from behind the desk as Yoda's leaving his office and Yoda's called him out. Think episode 2 or 3? I can't remember because, there's a lot of scenes. But yeah, he turns around and he like looks at him and he's like, yeah, I'm going to get you. And it's like, nah, Palpatine, I'm trying to think. The only time Palpatine really, really, really got angry was when he like turned and became like angry Palpatine and murdered his parents, according to legends. Don't
the
shoot
lore
messengers. The lore. So yeah, at any rate.
Okay.
Yeah, other than that, he's a fairly
okay.
Yeah,
I got a zombie scenario.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite? Okay. Let's answer Brandon's question first. Great question. Who's your favorite Star Wars character? Extremely hard question for me because I'm of three minds. When I was a kid, it was Boba Fett because he was cool. He had a blaster and his backpack had. I love Boba Fett because his backpack had jets. You know what I'm saying? He's Boba the Fett. His backpack has jets, and that's as far as I thought it through as a child. But then the Book of Boba Fett came out and kind of destroyed that. So now, I would say my favorite Star Wars character is probably Obi-Wan Kenobi. He straight up lied to Luke and kept away truth so he can bring out the best in Luke, but also he just still lied to him. I misled him in a weird way.
Was that so that he could bring out the best in Luke? Is that really what you're saying?
He was the future. He was the future of the galaxy.
I mean, he knew that's more the reason. And, that's a lot of pressure to put on, a 16, 17-year-old kid? So, yeah. But,
hey, you're the chosen one. When you're the chosen one. Yeah, he's like, Gillette, the best a man can get. He brought out the best in him. In that order. Right. And he's kind of undefeated. Obi-Wan never loses until he lost. But then he lost on purpose.
Well,
to then
honestly,
win.
All of the OG regular Star Wars characters, they all had a level of integrity that was questionable. Every single one of them. So it's not like Obi-Wan was the only imperfect one, not using his abilities in the most integritous ways. All of them were, even the ones without Jedi powers.
Han killed a guy in front of us.
Oh, and I have a question. I have a question for Brian, actually. Well, mainly Brian, because Brian's the Star Wars god. Okay, so you just said that Palpatine killed his parents. Is that a reason why we got the scene where what's his face kills Han Solo? Because I thought that scene was pretty brutal. What's his name? Why am I missing his name? Kylo Ren. Yeah. Yeah. So is that kind of reminiscent of why he did that so brutally, on scene, on camera? It's like, yeah, let's do this right now. Obviously it was him turning to the dark side, or making the final decision or whatnot. But
I had not considered it, but
that's a good through line.
Who were to put them in a small little airplane together, that would be very reminiscent. Well, Han would have had to be angry You know what I mean? Because his dad was angry. Like he wasn't raised. His parents were just kind of like, we don't really like you that much, and so he was kind of an outcast. And one day, he snapped and told his dad, "Yeah, this is it." So yes, I had not considered that. That is very, very, very similar. But I would say Kylo had that conniving purpose behind it. He knew what he was gaining by doing it, whereas Palpatine just like unleashed teenage anger, and the Force came out and he wrecked some shop, and then he was like, what I do? Yeah,
What I do, act of passion, so
Brutal.
to speak.
So yeah, I hadn't considered it. That's a
Yeah,
fantastic.
Kylo was super like, what do you say? I know what I have to do, but I don't know what I have the strength to do it. And Han Solo was like, you could just hug me,
Yeah.
dog. And that hug went south, dog. That hug went real south.
Nah, I think Han Solo knew. Han Solo was like, "Yeah, this is it. My son sucks," and then he just knew. I think he knew. Yeah.
What
I'm
happens?
in agreement with you.
What happens when your kids are like? It's like what happens when you have like that good son moment with Macaulay Culkin, and your kid is like, or like Damien from like The Omen. You know what I mean? Do you take one for the universe, or do you try to cultivate? It's kind of going to my original question before Brendan asked who our favorite character was. I don't want to get too derailed, so I'm gonna. Brian, who's your favorite Star Wars character?
Um, that question makes me sad, but because it's very difficult, and I could sit here
It's a hard
literally for the
question.
next 7 hours. But we're gonna go with Anakin Skywalker. He is so complex
Yeah,
and
the
you
main
know
character.
justified in much of his behavior. So overall, through all that I've read and know and seen, no man, Anakin is it. But there are some very, very unknown, untalked about second and thirds. And please, let's not forget Grand Admiral Thrawn as
Let's let's not forget Thrawn. He wears all white even after Labor Day because he's
Thrawn
that.
is
He's
awesome.
him. He's Timothy Dalton, dog.
Thanks for the
Toots,
question.
of course. Thank you, Brennan. Thank you for the question. Toots, so it's on you. Who's your favorite Star Wars character of all time?
Um, I don't have one particular. I have three. Han
Good.
Solo is probably number one, because he's badass and he's just a regular ass human who knows what the fuck to do. He's a survivor. Number two would be Ezra because Ezra kicks major ass. Probably to me the best series of all time is Star Wars Rebels. Fucking love it. Three would be Finn because they should have done a lot more with him because that is the very first Black Star Wars character that I know that's actually who's the
Sam
Finn?
Jackson.
Besides that one. No, the other one. No, Mace Windu was cool too, but
Oh,
Finn should have had a better story. Finn's story arc should have kept going. They should have continued to run with it. From turning from a stormtrooper to the light side, whatever. My words are really gone right now, but that storyline should have kept going. Finn should have been a hero to me. Like he should have been a hero, and the fact that they did away with him bothers me a lot. I mean, me and you talked about this the other day, but yeah, Finn's probably up there with me, top three for sure. Easy.
that's
That,
awesome.
that's awesome. And Finn uh, literally had his fate changed by powers even stronger than the Force. Executives. What's stronger than the Force?
Disney execs.
Disney execs. Those are the true wills. You want to know who the wills are? It's Disney execs, and they willed him right out of there. They got him on posters and all types of crazy stuff. And that dude was contractually obligated to go along for the ride. You know what I mean? That's crazy. Poor
They
kid.
did him so wrong.
Yeah. He literally was on a poster with a lightsaber, and they just changed all that. Remember, like one of the very first Force Awakens posters was Finn with the blue lightsaber. Not even Rey, it was Finn. You're like, oh snap!
I mean, when you look back on it all these years later, it's like when you talk about missed opportunities and things that they started and just dropped, it's like, yeah, what about Finn? Wasn't he a Force incident? Oh, we 6 hours? We're just, all right.
Get it out of
whatever
here.
you say. All right. But
No, he's
with
just
any
Yeah.
luck, maybe we'll see a resurrection coming in the henceforth Ray movies, which are apparently on the horizon. And no one wants to be a part of it until they back the money truck up, and they're like, you know what? Yeah, well,
yeah,
let's
money
do
talks.
this. That's
If
cool.
they
So we'll
if
see
they
what
can use
happens. But yeah, I hope they
if
bring
they
him
can
back.
if they can get RDJ, they can get anybody, dog, because he was super out. And that's a good question. It makes me think like, who are some of your off top of mind characters who are shunned in the past, who are now embraced in the present? I think of Anakin Skywalker, especially because people hated the prequels when they first came out. They hated his portrayal. They hated Episode 2. They called him whiny, and it really gave Hayden Christensen a hard time. But now everyone's rejoicing him. He's back in Ahsoka. He's kicking butt, and everyone loves him. It makes me think. I don't want to take your answers, but who's a character? It doesn't have to be Star Wars that was hated when they first appeared, but is loved now. Over time, time has healed the wounds. Like, you know what I mean? Like Jar Jar making a triumphant return. You know, and everyone loves him now. But back then, couldn't stand him.
There are a few, but none are popping to mind that really stand out. Jar Jar did pop into mind, but since you went with Star Wars, I think that really falls in line more with like sports, like the Michael Vicks of the world who were like, yeah,
Wow,
we
yeah.
don't like you, and somehow redeemed himself. Robert Downey Jr. could also be in that, but he was just in trouble living his life doing his thing. It's not a big like comeback story. They didn't really dislike him. But in sports, I think you find that quite often where they come in, it's like, yeah, we don't really like you. And then by the end of the career, they're going, yeah, good guy.
That, yeah,
I mean,
The Joker's a good one.
the Joker is a good one, Brennan. People
Hmm.
did. There was a time where the Joker was hated. I think it was mostly because of like the whole Suicide Squad thing and just the oversaturation of the character. You know what I mean? Is Heath set such a crazy bar that it was really hard to hit for anyone, and that they went in that direction just really soured people on the Joker for a little while. And even now with the whole Joaquin Phoenix Joker, there's still kind of healing. You know what I mean? There are people who love the Joaquin Phoenix version of Joker, and there are people who are kind of detractors. But I think Jared Leto's portrayal of the Joker didn't do the character any favors, because the Joker was on top of the world since '89 Batman, right? In animated series, right?
look, I
Even
don't want to be that guy, but you saw Jared Leto's Joker in the trailer, and you went, "Oh, that's not it."
but
From
you
the
know what's
get go,
funny?
and it lived up to, yeah, this isn't it. And I'm not throwing shade, Oscar winner, you know what I mean? But that was not
It's
what
funny.
anyone was looking for.
Remember when we first saw the photos of Heath Ledger as Joker, and we all said, "Nah, what the hell is that?" But it's two different scenarios, right? One actually killed it, the other one didn't. Because when I remember that first real grainy black and white photo of like Heath Ledger as a Joker, it's like this close to his face, and it's like, oh, that looks whack, dude. I don't know, it looks kind of stupid. No one was feeling it until that first trailer, and everyone was just like, wow, okay, this is what we're
I don't
getting.
I don't necessarily remember that, but didn't
Yeah,
isn't the
nobody like
Joker that who was the Batman they showed the Joker at the end
that's another one with
the
what's
kid,
his face
right?
from what's
Yeah,
his face from the Eternals. They didn't like that one either because it
they
looked
didn't like
funky,
that. Yeah,
and he only had 10 seconds on the camera. And the one scene he had was cut out from the film. So it's like
yeah.
it wasn't finished and wasn't polished. So the Joker is a weird one because he's such a coin flip. Either he's on top of the world and you're selling tons of Joker merchandise, or we all hate him. You know what I mean? Like this character is lame, or it's such a coin flip, that character.
I'm gonna give you one, and it's not a character, but it is an actor, and his name is I can't remember his name, but Urkel.
Oh, Jaleel White.
Oh, Jaleel White.
Jaleel White as Urkel, because I was called Urkel. Not very popular, okay? Not very popular at all. And even through
he was until he wasn't. He was until he wasn't.
He was popular. You're popular, you know what I mean? But it's like there for the act of something to pick on or about. So that doesn't at any rate, this isn't a psychology episode. At any rate, his portrayal that's about to come out of Star Wars, I have no idea. But
it's the rebirth, dog. It's gonna be the rebirth of the character.
My mouth was was like, you're in Star Wars? And
you can't tell me.
Pee Wee Herman. Pee Wee Herman had a bit of a comeback after
all the shenanigans he went through.
That's true. Yep,
he had a big comeback. Brennan, no, I did not feel sorry for him in Injustice. Brennan, I did not feel sorry for the Joker. Do you know what happened? Toots, do you know what happened with the Joker in Injustice?
No.
So Injustice, real quick. Superman goes crazy and takes over the world. He becomes a dictator. The reason he goes crazy is because the Joker tricked Superman into thinking that Lois Lane was him. He was under like some kind of Joker gas, mind you. So and Superman was going to kill the Joker once and for all because the Joker did a bunch of nasty stuff. Superman kills Lois Lane and then finds out afterwards by Batman that Lois Lane was pregnant. And Superman lost his mind and literally killed the Joker on the spot, starting Injustice. And Batman said, once you go down that road, he's like, I don't want to hear it. And he punched a hole through the Joker and stopped being Superman at that moment and became this new dictator, split superhero community in half. Anarchy ensues. And it was all orchestrated by the Joker. So it's very Kingdom Come-ish. Yeah, it's dark, super dark story. And it's all the Joker's fault. Much like Kingdom Come. One of my favorite books of all time. Graphic novel.
And it's very satisfying. Like when Superman
Joker's got to go.
Like,
yeah, he just
like because you've just been waiting for it for so long. Anyone to like, and Superman's like, no, I'm that dude. And so when you see it, you're like, man, that's super satisfying. And then what comes after, you're like, that's not happy Superman.
No, he's not happy.
Does that imply that Batman was never going to do it then?
Yep. Batman was never going to kill the Joker.
He was never going to kill him.
Batman doesn't kill people.
Doesn't kill.
Batman doesn't kill people, but there's collateral damage that's done. Thousands of collateral damages.
He doesn't think about it. That guy he left paralyzed, he's alive. He's not going to.
Do you guys remember the College Humor? The College Humor Batman, where he's like, no, he's just taking a nap.
Yeah, Batman, he's not breathing.
I think he kills the Penguin. Yeah,
he's just taking a nap.
He's like, no, he's fine.
Is he moving? The Penguin just slumped up in the corner, not moving. Yeah, man. It's collateral damage, dog. We were talking about like that. Me and Tootie were talking about that with Superman. Because like Superman thinks he's helping, but he's really ruining everything. You know what I mean?
He's ruining the economy.
Yeah, he's ruining the economy.
In fact, that's one of the interesting things about the entire Marvel like universe and how a lot of what they built was literally based upon the wreckage that was laid down in the Avengers. And they're like, yo, bro, y'all can't be doing this. It costs money. And yeah, they went on to do it like 5 or 6 more times, plus, Endgame and whatnot, and killed half the population. Sorry for the spoiler. But it was a consistent through line. Yes, I'm sorry for that.
That's okay. No, it's just they even have a whole team called Damage Control, whose entire job is to clean up after when superheroes and supervillains fight. So let's say the Avengers are fighting Baron Zemo in downtown LA, and the Hulk flies through a building. Damage Control then comes in and cleans up the mess, and gives an invoice. And it's all part of the weird Marvel MCU economy. You know what I mean? That they run.
If I remember correctly, that was half the issue with the X-Men movies as well. The original X-Men movies is like, this is a problem. You guys just keep killing, and we have to make it stop now. Like that was why they were exiled, if I remember correctly. In the first 2 movies, the first 3 movies.
Regulation. That's what Civil War is about. Like in the comics, like in Civil War, it's so cool. Like, there's a bunch of superheroes called like the New Warriors with Speedball and all that, and they're like doing the whole Jackass thing with cameras, and they're in a character called Nuke. I wonder what his power is. Nuke is at a school trying to rob the school fund, and they're like, "Check this out, guys! We're gonna get this crazy footage." And they push Nuke too far, and he literally blows up the school and kills everyone there, like everyone. And they're like, "No more. You superheroes have been running around unregulated for too long. Registration. Every superhero, we want to know your real name. We want you to have a W-9. You're on a list now." And half of them split up. Cap was like, "Nah." Iron Man was like, "Yeah." And that's really what Civil War was about. Well, it's about superhero legislation because of the random death and destruction it would cause, saving the day. You know what I mean?
Yep, man. I want my superpowers more than a lot of people, I'm assuming. Like every day, try and activate a superpower. That's what I believe. But at the end of the day, if I was walking outside and knew that, somebody was going to come through and like blow up the street with their eyes because they were after, two teenage kid with superpowers. Yeah, I'm a concerned citizen. Like, can we get together and at the church and talk about how this is all going to go down, man? I'm just trying to go to the snow. Like,
little Jimmy can distort time, and his girlfriend just dumped him. What's he going to do now? We should probably keep an eye on little Jimmy.
It's a concern, in which case, if superpowers are real, I'm not shocked that we don't necessarily know about it because little Jimmy's like, shh. Yeah.
Little Jimmy, dog. Anyway. Little Jimmy had a big day. Yeah. And now he wants to.
Did either of you watch that movie? Remember that Superman movie that's supposed to be Superman, but we don't know it's Superman because he's on the farm and he's a kid and it's like half horror, half origin story, whatnot. What movie is that?
Blackbird.
Graceland? No.
Blackburn?
No. Yes, Blackburn.
Yeah, with the kid. It's a horror movie. It's a Superman horror movie. It's a Superman horror movie. Nah, it was a Superman horror movie where.
No. What if Superman?
M. Night. No, it's not M. Night.
All right. I know what you're talking about. I remember the trailer, but no, I didn't see it.
Yeah. The little kid ends up.
Me neither. I didn't see it either.
I watched it.
Like evil Superman. Yeah, like evil Superman, basically. Like,
what if Superman came to Earth and he was just a little turd? And he made it everybody's problem. Brightburn. Thank you, Brennan. Brightburn. And what if little Superman had a little tiff and he made it everybody's problem? And he ended up wiping the floor with his family. He started eye lasering cats and dogs, just like this. There's something up with this kid. And the mom was like, I know there's goodness in you, as he's holding her 70,000 feet in the air. Like, yeah, this kid, and there's no one to stop him. He's Superman. What are you going to do? And then what sucks about that movie is at the end, all the other superheroes, like the evil Justice League, show up. So there's like an evil Aquaman in like Ecuador, and there's like an evil Amazonian, like that just showed up. But why wasn't there a sequel? Because it didn't make money.
No, it made nothing. No,
nobody was feeling it.
I certainly didn't see it. It sounded interesting, but not. I mean, I don't want to see Superman be evil. That's the thing. Like we have this idea of what our superheroes are supposed to be, and I don't want to see them. I don't want to see Damian Superman. I want to see Superman.
Let me tell you about a little film series called The Snyderverse, where Superman is not really. He's not evil, but he has, he has issues, and he has a god complex for some reason, and we all have to deal with it. And that Superman has to do with real Superman.
Deal with what? Superman or the Snyderverse? Which one are you talking about that we actually have to deal with? Because I am infinitely more sick of hearing about one than the other. That is
luckily we don't have to deal with the Snyderverse anymore, unless you engage it. It's like a Sith holocron. Unless you engage it, you don't have to deal with it.
Dude,
shout out.
He's making a 300 television show. Don't worry, it's coming. It's still coming. It's still coming. You don't just let your ideas go. You're like, you know what? I'm gonna move off that. I thought about it for 10, 15 years. Not anymore. We're going to let that one
Did
go.
anybody watch Rebel Moon? Did anybody watch Rebel Moon on Netflix?
It got
Right.
like a 3 on Rotten Tomatoes.
I watched both of them, dog. I had to know.
And Star Wars? That's what they said.
So today is the 85th anniversary of Batman. You know, it's a timeless character with all types of history, and Snyder can't hurt him anymore. You know, you can't hurt our boy anymore. No, those movies were hot garbaggio, basura, dog. And this isn't maybe it is basura.
Did you watch the one? No, wait. I know you watched one, but did you watch the real one that he made?
No, I refused.
That he wanted to make. What's it?
The Snyder, even though he made it with zero studio interference, he made another one that was the Snyder cut of it because he felt, and all it had was like it was an extra hour. All it had was it was more slow motion and like some sex scenes. That's all it was, dude, from my understanding. And I'm like, yeah, that's what we needed.
No, I don't necessarily pay attention to Rotten Tomatoes, but I mean, you could not be coming out.
How do you get a 0 in anything, dog? You write your name on the.
Said, you know? Did you watch Borderlands? Have you either one of you watched Borderlands?
No,
I want to see it.
No, I've heard horrible things.
I refuse to pay for it, but I'm going to watch it. It's my favorite. It's like one of my favorite games.
Probably eventually, yeah.
I'm going to watch it. It's just I'm not going to.
The casting is a mess.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very curious if it was made for gamers over just the general audience, because it also got movie bombed. But Borderlands itself does not make a lot of sense playing that game. That game is a weird, weird world. And so it's like, if you don't get it, you know, maybe they didn't get it. So I'm anxious to see it, but no, I was not going to pay for it.
I trust me, I've played every single Borderlands. I love them to death. Over 1,000 hours between all 3 games. I love Borderlands. You're not playing it for the story, bro. You're playing it for the 1% loot drop on the Cardigan's Loveful gun that you get by killing this one boss 7 trillion times. That's the reason you play the game. You're not playing it for the deep lore. You know, I don't know.
It's crack for you. You love that. You love that stuff. It's crack for you. It's literally like
because you're gonna hit, right? Right, you're gonna hit. If you play the game until 7 o'clock in the morning, you're gonna get at least one unique.
You don't do a lot of casinos, do you?
Gerards are horrible gamblers. I don't gamble. My dad told me once. Gerard, like my bloodline.
No, I'm gonna hit, bro. I'm gonna hit, man.
My bloodline is horrible gamblers, dog. My dad literally told me a story where he went to Vegas and came home in like a bag with no pants, like totally, like the Vegas experience, you know, where he drove it on a car and came home on a bus. You know what I mean?
The true Vegas experience.
The true Vegas experience, where you put it all on black, and guess what? It was on red, and now you have questions. You know, now everybody's cheating. You know, nah, I don't gamble, dog. But I will say this: I'm really good at like sweepstakes. I win at sweepstakes, dog.
All right.
And like raffles and stuff. I'm goated, but actual
1995.
Yeah. Only thing I was mad at is that I never won the McDonald's Monopoly game. But we all know why nobody won that, apparently. Except for like Johnny Tulips or whoever, you know what I mean? Jimmy 2 times.
Which one was the hard one? Was it Boardwalk or Park Place? It was one of those. One was never available, but the other one was always available for like the $500,000 prize or whatever it was.
On the West Coast, it was Park Place. On the East Coast, it was Boardwalk. If they flipped it across coast,
wow.
So everybody on the East Coast had Park Places, couldn't find Boardwalk. No. We had nothing but Boardwalks, couldn't find Park Place.
And that is the one.
That's like crazy, a mafia scammer shit.
Yeah, they were giving away Dodge Vipers and everything, dude.
Is walking into McDonald's when the game started, and you'd automatically get a Park Place, and you're like, "Dude, my first thing of fries, Park Place. I'm gonna nail this." And
you never saw it again. Never,
Is
ever,
there a
so
ever.
class
funny.
action lawsuit? Do I get any money back for my Big Mac
No,
and fries that I was
no.
the
You got it.
nuggets, the 30
You got
piece?
it.
Like
You got a good meal, dog. you balanced.
eh,
You balanced out,
upon
dog.
further review, I would like to rediscuss negotiations.
You go ahead and you negotiate with Johnny two times and see how that conversation goes. Dog.
Never mind.
You go take it up with the Godfather. See how that conversation goes. So I'm sorry to come to you on the day of your daughter's wedding, but I want my damn Park Place. He's gonna go. And
Where
next
does
thing
the
you know, you have no
Godfather
leads.
rank for you guys as movies?
I've never seen it.
I've only seen the first one, and it's up there. Mafia
Never seen
ruined
it.
all of Godfather for me, though. Have you seen Mafia with
This is why we can't have
Jay
nice
Moore?
things. Yeah, this is why we
No,
can't have
I
nice
haven't seen
things.
that.
Mafia with Jay Moore is just a parody of all the Godfathers, and it just ruins Godfather for you because it's so funny.
Oh,
It's
Ma-
great.
See,
I love that movie.
I'm more
It's
of
stupid humor, but
I'm a Goodfellas guy. That's what I watch. That's what our family watch. We watch Goodfellas all day.
yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
Goodfellas,
Goodfellas all day.
Goodfellas, and Casino.
Casino.
oh.
I'm
Okay,
gonna
question real
get
quick because we're good. We got 10 minutes, but I want to ask you guys. I need to know your sentiments on the upcoming Joker film. Also, I want to apologize to Mike G because you are 1,000% right when it comes to Todd Phillips and his feelings towards Joker himself. He's an asshole. You're
he
absolutely
hates
right
the
about
character.
it. He only used it as a
Yeah.
vehicle. He doesn't give a shit
Mhm.
about the character himself. Like you were
Mhm.
1,000% right. And I was trying to go into it thinking like, nah, dude, like he's just trying to honor him in a different way. I don't think that's what it was at all. So how do you guys
Nope.
feel about this one coming up in October?
You want to take this, Brian?
Real easy. I did not watch the first one because it did not grab my fancy in the trailer whatsoever. And the trailer for the second one was even more just like I don't want to say it didn't make any sense, but it wasn't. There was like no connection, no flow, there was nothing. Like it ended, and I'm like, oh, all right, Joker Park Dukes or
Joker
whatever it's called. So
part
You know,
deux.
whatever it's called, for the doigt or whatever. Like, okay,
Yeah, some
okay,
pretentious shit.
Park Dukes is
yeah, so dumb.
Hot Shots.
That's Hot Shots Part Deux.
Anyway,
That's all I know about Hot Shots Part Deux, where he rode his hands in gummy bears, dog.
bro. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, pre-reference this by saying that the Joker was my only 10 out of 10 for MOTN top 10 ever. I love that movie, and I hate that I loved it because of all the reasons Tootie just mentioned. The director has some weird vitriolic feeling towards comic book movies, and he doesn't want it to be a comic book movie. And at the same token, he also states that this is not a musical. He refuses to call this movie a musical, even though it is a musical. And Lady Gaga's there for a reason. It's a musical. Why can't you just call it that? And part of me just wants to boycott this movie. But then again, part of me wanted to boycott the Joker. I think Tootie had to talk me into watching it because I didn't want to watch it. It's like Venom, right? I hate the Venom movies. But Venom got a trilogy. I can't be mad at that. Has nothing to do with Spider-Man. I hate it. The comic book nerd in me hates it. But I can't front a movie for getting a trilogy.
West Side Story is one of my favorite things ever. I can jump out and song and dance right now. I do not want to see a musical about the Joker.
Okay. Brian.
Like, why?
Same.
We
That's
have
not a thing. Go on.
okay. Are you a jet or are you a shark? Go.
Oh, dude, I'm a shark.
I'm a jet.
Of course you are. When you're a jet, you're a jet. Although
Jet all the way from your first cigarette to your last thing of the day.
You know what I'm talking about. Anyway.
That was a moment. That was an MLTN moment that we'll never get back, and I love it.
Bro,
loved it.
Tootie.
Awesome.
Tootie.
I did not watch the new West Side Story because I don't really get offended by remakes, as John Campea says. Like, make a remake. You know, we always have the original. But Spielberg doing like a new West Side Story, like I remember looking at my television and just going, "Why? Why do we
need this?"
You don't. But I didn't watch it, so I'm sure it's fantastic. But No, I just kind of keep the other one in my heart and
Uh,
soul.
I love music. I have a soft spot for musicals. It took me forever to see Hamilton, and I loved Hamilton. Reluctantly loved Hamilton. Um, my favorite musical of all time is Little Shop of Horror. It's
Oh
almost
yeah.
perfect to me. That's when I can sing just off, you know what I mean? Feed me. Does it have to be blood? Feed me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I can sing that right now. But I just wish Todd Howard would come to terms with what he's making. Not Todd Howard. That's the guy from Fallout. Todd Phillips. I wish he would just come to
Okay.
terms that this movie is called The Joker, and it's a musical about the Joker. This is you chose this. Put a no one put a. But you chose these. You chose all of this. Why are you fighting yourself
Can
against it?
you imagine spending like 6 years, 7 years of your life just developing something that you like,
That you
the core
resent.
material you resent?
You
Like,
resent. Like how? What
that
does that
doesn't
do to
sound
your
fun.
heart, dog? I
It
hate.
doesn't sound healthy at all.
It's not healthy at all. It's
It
like
really
it's like
doesn't. Yeah.
it's funny. One of my favorite Kevin Feige stories is where when Bryan Singer was making X-Men 1, he forbid anyone on set to read any X-Men comics because he was also one of those directors who resented the source material. Man, I hate Bryan Singer so much. Um, but Kevin Feige snuck comic books to all the actors under in their trailers. Like Hugh Jackman was like, "Yeah, I was prepping for my scene. I just see a X-Men number 48 slide into the thing. I don't know who sent it. Years later, I found out it was Kevin Feige as an extra on set of X-Men 1. It was so important for Kevin to know that at least you know something about the character. You know what I
Dude,
mean?
like,
That's so
you
goated.
complain about this all the time. Like, there's source material. You don't need to work that hard.
That
You know
hard.
what I mean?
It's never that hard. It makes me so mad that it's like
Especially
I'm
because you bring up the long history of comics. We're talking the 40s.
there's
And it's like,
65 years of Spider-Man, dog.
you
Why
know
are
what
you
we're
trying to
doing?
reinvent the wheel?
We are doing a musical Joker.
Okay.
What? Why?
Because
Are you excited
uh
for it, Judy?
No, I'm not. Not one bit. The thing is, I was excited for the first one. I couldn't wait to see that angle because it was so realistic to exactly if Joker was a real human being and it went that route, that would be the exact way he would do it. Like that would be the exact way he would do it realistically. He'd be fucked over many times over because society sucks and it turns you into this person, this whatever Arthur Fleck is. No, this one no, because like you said, what the fuck does it have to do with the first one? Like, what does it have to do with him as a character? Oh, now he's in love. Now we get to see him be in love and be evil. Like, I understand she's going to be Harley Quinn, but she doesn't even have any like.
Harley
There's no
Quinnisms.
substance in her being Harley Quinn. Not at
Yeah.
all. Like, not at all. Like, I already don't like it. I'm going to watch it because I know we're going to review it, but I'm not one bit like looking forward to it. I'm going to be very surprised if I actually do like it. I can't. Lady Gaga, I guess she's a great singer. I can't stand her voice personally. Maybe it's because she's been shoved into our faces for so long, but I can't stand the way she sings, like at all.
Just a highlight for top 10. Mike had me watch a movie, musical, with my boy Bradley Cooper. Love Bradley Cooper. What's that musical with Bradley Cooper and
A Star Was
Lady
Born.
Gaga, isn't it?
A
Star
Star
is
Was
Born?
Born.
Star is
Yeah.
Born.
I watched that. I hated every second of that. Mike never watched that. And he's like, oh, no, don't worry about it, bro. We don't need to do that podcast. And I'm like, bro, that
I
was
still
not
owe you a drink for
good.
that. I'm sorry. I've apologized multiple times. That MOTN Random
I
Select
watched
fell
it
apart.
and it was okay, but it's a remake. A Star is Born is a remake. Like
Yeah.
it's pretty much word for word exactly the way it goes in the original, but it has this original song, right? The I'm on the deep end, whatever the fuck she says. It has that stupid original song that everybody fucking does at karaoke. I can't stand it, to be honest. And yeah, like it was really like I said, like it's just this over like saturation or this like shove these people in your face, shove her in your face because oh my god, it's Lady Gaga. Now she acts. Wow, what a great actress. And to be honest, she ate. Like she is a significantly good actress. But I don't want both. Like, I don't need both in a movie, unless the movie is tailor made for that. Phantom of the Opera, West Side Story. If it's actually meant for that reason, let's go. But for Joker, like, there's no necessary reason to hear Joker sing "For once in my life, I have someone to turn to." Like, I don't care. I don't care. That's cringy, and it's silly, and it's not him losing his mind. It's him coming together. We don't want to see Joker come together.
Okay.
I don't want to see Joker be happy and in love. I want to see him wreak havoc because he's pissed
I want to see
off.
him
I'm
Joker.
sorry, am I
Yeah.
hating? But I really do.
No.
I want
And
to see him be Joker.
here's the thing. People have made musicals for less. Like we have Evil Dead, the musical, RoboCop, the musical. There's been some strange musicals
Oh
out there.
yeah. There's Lost the musical. That was
Lost
actually
the
like a Broadway
musical.
thing on stage. I was like, dude, I Lost the
Like
musical sounds awesome, but I didn't
if
watch it.
this was Baz Luhrmann who did Moulin Rouge, I would be hype.
Oh
This was
yeah.
like a guy who does musicals,
Yeah.
who does this for real. Like a guy who
Chicago. Yeah.
Chicago. Baz Luhrmann's the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Strictly Ballroom. What you guys know about the Casa Doble? We can do a little quick the Casa Doble, but it's not. It's a man who resents the source material and resents the genre. He's every single time they ask him, he's like, "It's not a musical. It's just an interpretation of whoop de whoop farts out of a trumpet." You know what I mean? Like, if you don't want to do it, then why are you doing it? Or give it to someone who's going to want to do it. A Joker musical? Okay, I'm very skeptical, but there's ways to do that, you know. But this guy doesn't want to do that. Oh, we lost Toots. Let me bring back Toots. Toots was like 5 o'clock, brother.
Oh, I thought I did something.
No,
I thought
it
I did
dropped
something.
out.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. It dropped off. But you're back. You're back, and you're back in effect. So we're here at the end of our MOTN live. I think we've all had a good chuckle, a good laugh. We cried. We talked about Jared Leto. You know what I mean?
O.J. Simpson.
O.J. Simpson is 9/11. We're bringing that back. In fact, I should have changed the name of the live. Maybe you'll get like 1,000 more viewers or something. But I love these lives. I love this communication. Thank you, Brennan, for hanging out with us. If you're still hanging around, we really appreciate you asking the tough questions like about injustice and concreting. Bubbles for Brennan. Bubble.
Yay! Thank you, Brennan.
But the bubbles are also cursed. Which is that. All right, what's coming up on the channel? So through the votes for MOTN lore, we have a lament configuration coming up. A lament configuration lore for Hellraiser that we're gonna have to do. But after that, I don't know. Maybe we're gonna do something else that's going on in the culture. I want to talk about Agatha All Along because I watched that and have really big thoughts about that. And just not all good, not all bad. So I'd love to do something talking about just overall what they're trying to say there. And that may be some new content. So next week, there is no episode, but we will have another live and we'll have guests as always. Next time, I'm bringing in the hag from Army of Darkness. You know, the one that says, "I'll swallow your soul." Anybody? Boomsticks. Brian, you know.
Boomstick.
Just smiling that. I was kidding.
I might do Agatha All Along with you because I got things to say.
I got things to say. Where can we find you, Tootie?
Oh, Instagram only. The Love Hub _LA.
Nice. Find her on Instagram. Why did I think I said that wrong? I'm getting sleepy. Today we were able to stream on Twitch. Today we were able to stream on YouTube as well as X or Facebook, which is a big jump for us. I kind of want to jump in notes and see how we did. Brian, where can we find you, Bray?
You can find me on X at Brian J. Wash, and you can go to my eBay store at Wash's Shop, Rebels Collectibles Archive, man. We got some cool stuff over there.
Buy stuff from Brian now as we speak. Like after the podcast, grab your wallet, shake it, and Brian will hear the money and take it.
I will say thank you. Better than pizza, maybe.
I don't know, man. Money equals pizza, though.
Yeah.
And as always, you can find this channel on YouTube, on Spotify, on SoundCloud, and on Apple Podcasts. This is the Masters of the Nerdiverse Live. Once again, I want to thank you both for joining me today. This is like I mentioned earlier, this is the first time two members have been on the show at the same time. This is epic. Kind of didn't know how this went. This went swimmingly. I didn't know how this was going to go. This is like an experiment. You know what I mean? I didn't know by the end if we were all going to
breaking new ground.
Yeah, I thought we were all going to have like ropes tied to our hands with knives, like in Beat It by the end of it. You know what I mean? I didn't know how this was going to go. And pass the blade with two hands like this. Pass the blade stuff. I don't know if that was going to happen.
General Grievous.
General Kenobi. Hello there. Oh man, you guys are awesome. You've been awesome out there in Radio Land, and we'll see you next time. Once again, thank you, and
bye, Brian.
Bye, Brian. Bye, Toots.
Bye, guys. Bye.